Alrighty, so pre-show we were just talking about diets. It's a new year, and everyone's kind of trying to eat better. I don't know if Paul is, but I am.
Not really.
Paul's still just being a fat slob.
Paul's on a seafood diet, dude.
Me and Scotty, I guess you're kind of on a loose version of the Willie Nelson diet.
Dude. Bacon and eggs.
Explain that
dinner.
to us.
Well, I heard Paul talking about it. It's like you eat oatmeal in the morning,
Yep.
and then you eat bacon and eggs for dinner.
Yep.
Right.
That's it.
That's what Willie Nelson says he eats on most days.
And that motherfucker smokes a shit ton of weed, dude. So you have no excuse. Can't be like, what about smoking pot? It's
Well, I read that interview with him, and he was talking about eating chicken fried steak and other stuff
Right,
too.
he likes other
He
shit.
basically said, but left to his own devices,
Right.
that's what he fucking eats.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's a breakfast loving man, which I respect because I love breakfast.
I'm
too.
really not. So it's like I'm having to kind of learn to adapt to it, dude. But I said,
That's true because when we were like if we go to like a late night diner place that serves breakfast all day, I'm way more likely to get a breakfast thing than you are. So that is kind of different for you because you were never huge into the breakfast foods.
I love breakfast food, but I love breakfast for dinner.
Yeah,
like
me
that
too.
was my favorite shit. I don't like eating breakfast food in the morning.
Yeah.
I like inverting that and having breakfast for dinner.
Like a lot of people, I think, in America or maybe the world, I don't know. I'm kind of not the biggest breakfast guy. But since I started doing like Weight Watchers, which is what I'm doing, I've started to
embrace breakfast.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do breakfast because I've heard so many good things about like, oh, it does
You're
this
supposed
and it
to.
does
It's
this
supposed
and it does that.
I've been told for years
Yeah.
that I should be eating breakfast.
So I've decided
I've had
to start doing it.
psychologists tell me like it's going to help you feel better all throughout the day if you eat a breakfast. But I just wake up in the morning and
You don't want to eat.
I'm aggressively not hungry.
Right. You're like almost nauseous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to the point of like thinking about eating food is gross, so I just wait until I'm hungry, and it's usually afternoon.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I've been. But I've decided, I don't have the nausea thing, so it's not like I'm repelled by food. I'm just like, I'll eat a little later. But I decided I'm gonna start eating breakfast. And at first, I looked through all the fucking breakfast recipes, and it's like they got all these fancy. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not going to fucking prepare a new breakfast every morning. I'm going to come up with a standard breakfast that I'm just going to eat till I get sick of it, and then I'll come up with a new standard breakfast.
That's a good idea.
So right now what I'm doing is like I love eggs in a basket, so I'm making those. I made myself 2 of those this morning, and I ate it with some turkey sausage and some like black coffee and shit like that. And
I've just got to I've got to find something like this Willie Nelson thing that I can just eat every day that's within some caloric limit.
Right.
Because I'm very routine oriented. I'm a
Yes.
creature of habit. So it's
Yeah.
just like I know this about myself. I can exploit this to my advantage to
Yeah.
lose weight.
Can't be pizza, Paul.
I'm
I
even
know.
It can't be
I mean,
pizza,
it's got to
Paul.
be within reason, obviously.
No, I know.
But, I've got to find something.
I'm actually, even though I'm not like that, I'm not really a creature of routine. I'm pretty erratic.
Right.
I've decided that ultimately what my goal is I'm just going to get to a point where I have a series of dishes that I can just alternate
That's a
the
smart
days of the
thing.
week. I like, it's Monday, so it's this. It's Tuesday, so it's like 7 dishes. And you know what? I figure if I get sick of one, if it starts to feel like, I'm dreading Wednesday when I got to eat that shit again, then I'll just change it out with something else.
Right, find something
And just
else.
come up with a new thing that's going to be in that slot.
The hard thing is to find 7 separate meals that fall within the caloric limits
Right.
and the portion size limit and all of that.
Now, I don't have any limits as far as portion sizes go.
Well, yeah, you're on points though.
Right,
So
'cause
yeah,
I'm on a
you
point
do.
system. Well, no, because there's a lot of stuff that's like, I had a meal yesterday. It was a big chicken breast and a bunch of broccoli and a bunch of rice, and it was huge,
Sure.
and it was worth like 2 points. 2 or
Right,
3
I get
points.
it, but like
So-
there are limits on portion size though. Okay, so like chicken nuggets.
Like,
Yeah,
well,
that
yeah,
would be that.
Like
for
a
chicken
5-piece
on
chicken
chicken
nugget.
nuggets there are, but like,
Right.
here's an
On
example.
the good shit, there's portion size limit. You
Right.
can eat as much of the
Like,
as much
if
of the
I
rice
wanna-
Like, if you eat
and
green beans,
vegetables.
you
If
can eat
I
as
want
much
to
as you
sit
want.
there and eat chicken breasts, I can eat as many as I want.
Right.
If I want to sit there and eat eggs, I can eat as many as I want because there's 0 points.
Right.
And it's 0 points. I can just eat ad nauseum.
Right.
Now, it's not like, obviously, for Oreos, yeah, there's a portion limit.
Right.
But for certain stuff,
That's
there
all the
isn't.
shit you like though.
Right.
You like all the grab
Yeah.
and go, easy to eat. So that's your
And
struggle.
this diet, the thing about the cool about Weight Watchers, and the reason I lost like 30 pounds on it the last time I was on it, is because I can still incorporate that shit into my. If I really need to go get a Big Mac, all I have to do is just offset the points somewhere else.
Right.
And then it's like I can still do that, and I can still lose the weight because, the problem is, I'm like one of these grazing eaters, especially at night.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm a raider of the
Yes,
pantry.
you're gonna snack and snack and snack and.
Because I'll just sit there and eat and eat.
I
eat,
can
eat,
sympathize
eat, eat,
with
eat,
that,
eat,
yeah, I
eat.
do.
And I'm trying to eat more like a normal human being with like 3 square meals a day and shit.
I eat and then I don't eat for a few hours.
Right. And if I do eat a snack, I make sure it's something that's like point limit, whatever.
That's what I need. I think I need to find something that I can eat just endlessly that isn't really worth any points or however you want to say.
Right. And eggs are good for that. Chicken's good for that. They have a whole big list of like
Dude,
0
Paul, I'm telling you,
point foods.
just pick out fucking 2
Pretty
meals.
much any fruit or vegetable other than like avocado is worth some points, but
Right.
like grapes and shit.
I'll
that's
tell you
all.
what, dude.
You can just sit there and
with me
eat
doing
that to
this-
your fucking heart's content.
It just simplifies your life because like yours is more complicated. Like because you have all these variables. Like
Right.
oh shit, I want to do this. Like,
But I'm
mine
trying
is
to
just like-
codify it and narrow it down too.
No,
so.
I get what you're saying, but I'm saying with mine, it's even more simple. Like, it's just like I'm gonna eat this, and like you said, yeah, I'll probably eventually get sick of that. Then I'm just gonna move on to the next time. Like I'm gonna have like my 2 items, because it just simplifies everything you're doing. It's like, you don't even think about it. It's like this is what I'm gonna eat, and then you eat that, and then you know like oh I need a snack, and everyone's all this crap. It's like nope, that's all I'm eating.
By the way, do you know by this point how much dieting advice there is in the fucking comment section down
Oh,
below, dude?
I believe it.
no, I already
already
have my
done.
thing. I'm good.
Yeah, me too. But I tell you what, you could not mention on the internet in any corner of it
Trying
that
to lose
you're
weight.
trying to lose weight or trying to get in better shape or trying to do it because you will get so much unsolicited fucking advice.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
incredible.
You can't even just be fat. You
Yeah.
You get it anyway just being fat. If
Hey,
you
Cubby.
look like you need to lose weight,
Here's
then
what you
get
gotta
it.
do.
Right.
It's like, hey, look, that's some work for you, good. But
Like, yeah, I get it, and you're right. You're probably right to some extent. If I did those things, I would lose weight. But listen, you're not the first one to give me those pieces of advice. It's a compulsion. Eating is a compulsive thing to fat people that
Oh, yeah.
struggle with it.
Yeah.
And it's not just as simple. Like for Scotty, I think has a way more healthy relationship with food than you and I do.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty's weight will fluctuate a little bit, but Scotty's always pretty much in shape.
yeah.
And because
Reasonably so, yeah.
he doesn't have this fucking compulsive side to his eating.
Plus, if
like
you,
for me,
if you go sit down and eat a
right
meal,
now, part of my thought process is when
Yeah.
I'm done doing this show, I got to eat.
yeah.
And what am I going to eat?
And I'll tell you another thing is if you go out to eat with Scotty or something, like American portion sizes are way overkill for him in most.
Oh yeah,
instances.
he usually leaves most of his plate
because like a lot of times you look at his plate, it'll be like a whole meal there practically still because
Right.
like he eats what he wants to eat and that's usually not a whole lot.
See, that ain't me. That ain't you.
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
are like
that shit. I'll be
different-
licking that motherfucker afterward.
So the advice
God,
is
it's
one
good.
level, but you got to assume that a fat person that's our age has heard all that advice before. You're not the first one to tell us we need to exercise. You're not the first one to tell us to not eat junk food, okay?
I feel
We've heard it before.
I feel like I'm letting all the Scotty's fat people down though. I'll be like Scotty getting fat. Like I feel like now I'm gonna lose this weight. They're gonna be disappointed. They're probably hoping I fail on it, but dude, I'm not gonna fail because I honestly love how simple it makes eating for me. It's like I don't have to think about it. It's just like Taylor, bacon, eggs now, and she just makes the bacon and eggs, and I eat them, and like
I like that. That's how it works.
Take notes, Ashley. Ashley, bacon and eggs now. See if that works.
I don't think they're coming.
I didn't even hear the pitter patter.
I don't hear a pan in the kitchen,
I
Paul.
think I heard an eye roll. I think that's about
If
it.
it's possible to hear one of those, yeah.
I think it is. I think it is.
To each their own.
All right. Well, that seems like it's a pre-show.
There we go. The pre-post show.
Pre-post pre-show. Post pre-pro. Post Malone. I don't know.